One. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, August 27th, 2:18 God's time, 6:18 UTC for all our Euro friends out there. We're starting a little late today due to some technical issues, but we're here with our favorite Frenchie, Marusha. What's up, Marusha?
Good morning.
How goes it?
Yeah, everything's good. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Of course.
Yeah, we've been trying to freshen up the guest list a bit. We have like the same kind of rotating cast of characters and friends that come to join us. So good to get some fresh faces on. For people that aren't familiar with you, we don't want to make the whole thing about like this isn't a typical interview or anything, but give us a brief intro just on yourself and kind of what you're doing right now in crypto.
Yeah, sure. So it's been 5 year-ish. I'm in crypto. Initially, I did mainly just investing, and I really fast fell in love in November 2019 with BitMEX. And pretty much I only did derivatives since then. Scalping. Initially, it was mainly perpetual, but over time it became option. But that's a story for later on, I guess. And yeah, pretty much just trading derivative. More recently, I've been way more into automating stuff. It's been actually some year, like I think 2020 to 2022 was everything buy-in. And over time, I moved more to collecting some percent instead of bothering myself with catching everything.
Yeah. But I guess when you started with BitMEX, right? Click trading, I think we all kind of started there, right? Unless you came from TradFi, right? You start click trading BitMEX at the time. And then Deribit comes out in 2017 or 2018. So if you were in derivatives, if you're in perps, then you maybe picked up some options. And then you start to gamble a little bit, and then you start to automate stuff, throughout the years. But were you ever a spot holder, like a bag holder, or you just jumped right into BitMEX, right with the wolves?
No, initially when I did investing, so it was Monero because I discovered crypto with Monero and Bitcoin, and I read both white paper, and I fell in love with Monero because I came from network computing initially. That's what I did for school, and I really fell in love with how we make everything a bit more discrete. Bitcoin was interesting, but peer-to-peer was already pretty much known as a principle of economical stuff. Like, especially if you're more into anarchists, everybody talk about it already. So Monero was a bit more attractive on how we have this anonymous layer, kind of, I will say. So no, initially it was more investing than spot holding. I think I started more becoming an investor around 2022, like when I was having enough money to be comfortable just holding stuff and say, yes, that's my conviction for the next 2 years. And, because market going up naturally, you have an incentive to just hold stuff, the right one. So yeah, it's become pretty late to be more close of an investor than a trader. Very, very late even, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting when we all started. I mean, I was a spot holder, then went to perps on BitMEX, and then went to options on derivatives, and then kind of never went back to perps. I would do like some mega spot buys and swings that I would publicly post, but I stuck with options, and found that niche, and stuck to the market making side. In terms
mine
of
was
your
mining and then trenches, like not Solana trenches, but it was mining, and then I needed a place to offload a lot of the shitcoins I was mining. And back then it was like Ether Delta, Bancor, Trade Ogre, like shit like that, where you could offload some of these more obscure altcoins that you were mining.
Maru, are you ever in? You want to take us a little bit through your trading style? Are you directional, hedger, or a market maker? I mean, you want to cover a little bit what you were telling me backstage, or you want to keep it private?
Yeah, sure, we can. So first of all, there is this misconception of me doing market making. I'm terrible at market making. Every time I try it, I pretty much fail at doing so. Like I do well for some period, and then there is, market making always have this issue of when there is too much volatility, you still have an inventory, and either it's gonna cost you a shit ton to hedge because out of nowhere you got filleted on quote you don't want to deal with anymore, and you didn't got time to pull out. Or sometimes it's more exotic with some shitcoin, but yeah, first of all, market making terrible. But I do a lot of automated trading. It can go from funding harvesting, mean reversion, momentum, even if less recently because market became better at trending than having momentum. A bit of option, shorting volatility mainly because that's literally free money until you're wrong. But the few times you're wrong, you're not enough wrong for you to stop doing so. Recently, a bit more of statistical stuff. I pretty much spent a lot of time filling the gap I was having in probability and statistic in 2023 and 2024. Because you don't learn stat and probability in network computing, at least not at the level I was doing so. So I was having a huge gap at understanding just even matching distribution between different stuff, how the tail is defined and why it's useful to understand your tail, what information you can get from it. So yes, that's pretty much all around. A bit of pair trading, a bit less recently. Like if I do pair trading is for matching funding pretty much or matching trend more than anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I do recently. I still punt from time to time. Directional, it's rare. I prefer just investing with low leverage. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit lazy, but that's how market works. Like if a market is attractive, it's gonna go up. It's simple as that. And or yeah, sometime today we were talking about it with Marty early on, but today we got a very good arbitrage between Hyperliquid, XPL, and Binance because Hyperliquid was weakening as fuck and Binance was still stable. So I was literally just longing on Binance, shorting on Hyperliquid. And I collected one time 90% after fee and cost of slippage, etc. because I paid a bit too hard. And right now I'm closing little by little the second one. Not very good entry, 80 could have been better, but it's still money. So
I don't understand why people were hedging on Hyperliquid versus Binance when there's a market on Binance. Other than obviously they don't want to deal with the KYC aspect of it. But
they don't have access. They don't have access.
They don't have access because regulation in Europe and in USA pretty much.
Just blows my mind. Like you have one person that can come in and just wash pretty much everyone. And that wouldn't have happened on Binance. But it didn't happen on Binance, obviously. But something like that. There's.
Can you pull up the chart? What happened? You want to cover it a little bit?
Let me see if I get the Hyperliquid.
I guess for people who don't know, XPL is
plasma.
Plasma. Yeah. This morning, I woke up and I was like, XPL. I'm like, what chain of XRP is this? That's what I thought this morning. I was like, what other subderivative of fucking XRP is this? Because they have all these different chains and shit. I was like, oh, okay, it's Plasma. It's the Tether boys. But how bad was it this morning? Like, it was, everybody went short. Everybody was hedging perps on Hyperliquid. One guy came in, supposedly Justin Sun, the magic, your majesty. His Excellency. Sorry for messing that up. And then, and a bunch of people got liquidated, like in the millions, 16 million or something. And then now the price is lower than at launch, right? That's kind of the spiel.
It's up now. It's up now from launch.
Like pretty much the thing is they really have some issue to stabilizing the price because it's still intrinsic value, so it's very hard to calculate like if you give me a real value, I can plug my volatility or price formula and say this asset is worth that much. But right now, in Hyperliquid, you cannot do that because we're still missing some information. So we pretty much into the value is order book value, and so people get a bit trapped trying to maybe long or short. I don't know, but for me, it's mainly shorting energy on Binance.
What's the funding on those things right now? How bad did the funding get last night?
It was bad. It was bad as fuck. I think I collected like 0.7, a bit more.
Jesus Christ. Oh, so good. So
Right
good.
now,
I will need to verify aggregation. Do I have the data? Wait, let me. So it's expand. I don't think I have the data actually on my side. No, because actually I'm downloading all funding from Hyperliquid right now, but I don't have experience.
Oh, it's fine. It got bad. Usually on Hyperliquid it goes like 1,000% a year, 2,000% a year when it gets super out of wonky.
Yeah, that's one of the good parts of Hyperliquid for me. Is the fact funding 1 hour, it's going to be more expensive for people who want to swing it. But as somebody who do a lot of arbitrage, you're very happy to have this 1 hour funding, because the issue with 8 hour funding is it's going to take a lot of time to relocate. And even if the price relocates, it's still going to buy funding. Meanwhile, if you do 1 hour, it's going to correct himself fairly quickly, to be honest. I think that's one of the good points of Hyperliquid is how decentralized exchange perpetuals, they do 1 hour. It's more expensive to swing, but better to fix price, to be honest.
Yeah. Even if you go look at like the Bitcoin pair, it's still super high on Hyperliquid versus other exchanges, the funding. So
If
there's
you
always a
want
trade there. I've been writing
historical,
about that.
actually,
Yeah, go
if you
ahead.
want, so wait, CMD, what is the folder? CD desktop, CD, CD Python, and what folder it is? It's CD example, Python. I was actually doing that like not even 2 hours ago. It's plot all asset actually. Plot all asset accumulation. So of course I'm still downloading all the data, but I send you into GMRT, so if you want to transfer it to him. But it's like since inception of Hyperliquid, so like mid 2023, and that's the accumulation aggregated of funding, which is fairly high, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's always been high. I've been
Yeah,
writing
yeah,
about
yeah.
that in the newsletter for I don't know, since the beginning of Hyperliquid. It's always there's always a trade there in terms of funding. If you can,
Yeah.
figure out how to segregate the capital and not get liquidated on one leg, because you have to have two exchanges, then the funding is always higher on Hyperliquid by a long shot. It's never the other way. It's always more.
Yeah, yeah. But that's why I like Hyperliquid also. Like you can just do free money. You come here and you harvest your free money, and a lot of centralized exchange. For me, by design, 8 hour doesn't let you do so. Aside if that's really bad, But
Yeah,
one
but
hour,
people.
yeah, it's a bit more fair. I don't like the term fair here because it isn't, but I'm not gonna say why. It's just a bit better in terms of accessibility of some stuff, such as funding arbitrage. But it's not only per liquid, once again. Every people who do 1 hour funding, for me, they are more fair to others.
on the other end of it, being on the decentralized exchange and it being more public, you have these people with large bankrolls that I think are more easily able to be tracked and then hunted for their positions than taking care of it on a centralized exchange
Yeah.
where there are other options to get liquidity than just trading on the books.
Yeah.
You still
been
think
on.
that people are getting like hunted for these mega huge positions? Like, sure, we see them. It used to be like, oh, there's a huge block at whatever, 5K, 10K. Okay, usually liquidity moves towards those blocks. But you still thinking that the cabal, the vol cabal is liquidating big whales, big users,
I don't think
or
that
they're
it's
just
like the exchange,
trading
right?
dumb, or
I,
they're
I
trading dumb.
I think it's a mix of both. Like I think if like you have someone like James Wynn, right? Like one of those guys who's being very bolsterous about his bankroll and then putting on large trades on Hyperliquid, there's an incentive to liquidate someone like that, right? And not necessarily as the exchange, but as someone else with a big bankroll that sees the opportunity. And on the centralized exchange, like you said, you can kind of break it up to where it looks like there's these blocks or levels in which there's support resistance at, and it's not as clear that it's a single user or single entity. So that is, as much as I am not a fan of trading on centralized exchanges, I think that is one of the advantages over trading on something like Hyperliquid.
But then also, if you're so big, if you're such a big whale, like maybe not on a purse position, but on accumulating spot or OTC derivatives, like different kind of options payout and things. There's all this back end of OTC markets that we don't see.
Yep,
Well,
for sure.
we
That's what I
see
was
it,
kind
but
of referencing.
it's not public on Twitter. Like we see the block trades come
Yeah,
through.
but we see it on Telegram, right?
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
most
but
of the
even some
time.
of the stuff we don't see. It's backwards. It's not like people. It's people leaking info essentially, right? Like, oh, did you see that this guy bought a huge fucking trade? They don't say who it is, but like this hyperliquid, like call spread thing, we knew about, for a while. It's a what was flood buying? I don't know, 30,
Oh
60 call
yes,
spreads or something. Yeah,
yeah,
like
40
that
to
went around
60.
a
Yeah.
lot of chats. Like many chats were talking about that, but that's not like a public position that somebody was accumulating like these 30, 60 call spreads. So when there's a huge derivatives trade or when there's like I don't know the right word for it, but like there's still a hidden OTC market that isn't in the public's eye, but it
Yeah.
goes around in private chats about huge, large size that's moving around. The rest of it we
But
see on Telegram, the paradigm stuff,
yeah, exactly.
the
It's,
Greek live
you're gonna
stuff.
see it into the OTC chat, but not Twitter. But it makes sense because let's be real, most of Twitter don't have money to be relevant into those chats. So people with size, they don't even bother talking with little guys, right? Like once you have enough money, people are gonna knock at your door and say, "Yo, I have this deal. Do you want it?" But you're not gonna do it on Twitter, aside if you search for obvious exit liquidity, because Twitter doesn't have much to offer in that sense.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Like it used to be the guy with 1 million to $5 million bankroll could move a market or make a wick or make a candle, and now that guy isn't even relevant anymore. When you have these huge treasury buying billions of ETH or billions of Bitcoin, the little guys or the retail guys don't make an impact anymore on the majors, sure, in shitcoins and memes and things like that. A thousand people buying $1,000, moves shit. But the little guy
Because
does not
that's a
do
lot
much.
also. Like that's 10 million now. So that's a lot of money actually.
Yeah, but in a small cap, sure, you can pump the thing 500%. But in like one clip, go try to buy $10 million of Bitcoin. Like nobody would even notice you. You
Yeah,
have the
no.
guy now doing they did 80,000. Galaxy did 80,000 Bitcoin, and we fucking are higher than that price. I think like
Yeah.
that's fucking insane. Billions and billions of dollars, and we're higher than that point. It's the to 5-10 million guy is not moving the needle in majors like they used to be able to.
Well, it was like even before, if you don't, they weren't necessarily moving the market, but like you were saying, they were creating that candle or that wick that then could create the narrative in which or creates a motion for other people to pile in.
Yeah.
And now that you have these treasury companies approving $250 million purchases, $1.5 billion purchases, it's like, what the fuck is your 5 mil?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is more bid and ask naturally, where I then away from Horizon before more than anything else, I feel like. Because, as you say, if somebody get approved for a treasury of 2,500 Bitcoin, if I'm a notice desk and they tell me, yeah, we want 2,500, we don't really care about the price, what I'm going to do is naturally, I'm just going to layer, bid right under the price so I can make sure I'm going to get filled. But you're not gonna see it like whether I have 1 million or not at 10 point spread into Bitcoin. You're not gonna notice because even on one exchange there is probably 5 to 20 million at 10 BPS. Like
Yeah. It's just you can fly under the radar to being a micro whale. $5-10 million orders.
yeah,
And
on
like
Bitcoin,
the big boys.
each area,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
on shitcoin you still existing pretty much and by a lot actually.
Yeah, totally, totally. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like, in the non majors, you're still able to do that, create the narratives, move the markets and stuff. But now on Sol and ETH, you're not doing shit.
Yeah. Even right now, I'm looking at function on Hyperliquid and like, how much is it? Like on a 3% spread, there is barely like 7 million, which isn't that much for it's what? It's 4 billion market cap, something around 3 billion.
Jesus Christ. Still, that thing's still 3 billion.
Yeah, I think. I mean, most of the those token, what I do is I just denominate by billion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, basically just the same number, but you just 0.00, etc. But I'm pretty sure it's still like 3 billion something. The FDVs, yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised that it's still
3.11.
at. I'm surprised that it's at a billion still at this point in time.
But I mean, they did well. I was expecting worse, but the initial was bad. And they pretty much just ranging for now, like, and we're gonna have the surprise of do they gonna eat us with a blast or not? But it's fine, it's decent. But even
Yeah,
it's RP
I'm
actually.
literally surprised it's still at billions. I would think it's in the hundreds of millions by now. How many coins are graduating? How much money are they actually making? Like, sure, they made a bunch of money back a few months
In
ago, but
in
are
fees they do
shitting.
a lot actually. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the revenue
Uh,
is insane. And
yeah,
they cleared a few $100 million. Like they
yeah,
sold coal. Yeah, like
exactly.
they cashed out for sure. Maru, what do you got?
Uh,
What do you got for the markets today? Today or this week? Today we have Nvidia after hours
which is
earnings. We
today?
have GDP tomorrow and PCE tomorrow. Or sorry, Friday. So 2 data points and one for the last major tech earnings. How are you feeling going into the end of the week?
I mean, Nvidia's still pretty good, I guess. Like, there's still this EA narrative as much as it is stupid. For the two other, we're gonna need to see, but most of the time they quite irrelevant actually. Like, it's rare weekly event matter that much in crypto. They do a
Yeah,
bit like we done a bit of candle, but that's the limit of it.
I'm interested to see Nvidia after. No, so you had all
After
this tariff.
hour.
Yeah, after you had all this. Jesus, you had all this semiconductor tariff nonsense. You had all this that they couldn't sell specific chips to China. All of these like crazy headlines that have come through, and every
Mhm.
article I read is like mega bearish, and all they need to do is beat EPS, earnings per share, or beat revenue, and this thing's just gonna keep fucking going. Like, oh, just kidding. The tariffs didn't affect us, and the thing just pops, right? I mean, even right now, U.S. futures are fucking going for all-time high. We're like a few dollars away from all-time high, and people are
Yeah.
complaining like we're literally like $8 away from all-time high, $7 away, and people are like, this is on ES, by the way. People are NQ's a little lower, but ES is fucking a few dollars away from all time high. People are whining and complaining that the world is over. But
Yeah, it's always the same.
you want to do gun to your head price prediction today,
For
or I guess,
Nvidia,
yeah, or
I mean,
Bitcoin. We can use Bitcoin as a buffer.
Bitcoin, I would like we get back this level at 115, to be honest. So
Back
we
in that
can
range.
raise, yeah, back into the range at least. Like we cancel the week, and from there we see if we get higher or not. But I don't know. It's like slow grinding from the low, so pretty much going well so far. I don't like the fact we slacking here, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Like we're just gonna get ETF inflow trying to hedge and buying spot. Like they're gonna short future premium or try to collect NAV, and they pretty much gonna buy spot. So it's not even gonna matter, to be honest.
What's the expected move again, Cozy? That you said it was like 8% today for Nvidia or something. 8? Is that what it was?
It was 6 in either direction,
6.
I think.
Yeah, it's just yeah. On a fucking multi-trillion-dollar company just trading like a shitcoin on earnings.
Yep.
Yeah. But
What's
I
the
mean,
market
EA is
cap?
still booming, so I don't know.
I
It
think it'll be all
sounds
right.
good to me. Yeah, exactly.
You had a wick today on Nvidia to like 179. It's instantly filled. It's right back trading. 182 flat. What was it? A 6% move? Jesus Christ, brings it back to like 170, and to the top side would be all time high at like 190, 192
Bro,
or
look at
something,
that.
193. What
You
is that?
pretty much either longing SPX or longing Nvidia, but at this point, price
That's the
going
stock
up.
split though.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
the
but that's the
price
stock split.
change.
That's why it looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, but still, it was crazy. Like, it's the chart of Nvidia is ridiculous,
No,
but
just put
that's how
Nvidia. I
US
don't care about
market goes.
the crypto price. Just put Nvidia. Yeah, dude. Why is yours just straight? Oh, dude, go to top. See
There
how
we
you
go.
have
There we go.
crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
I was
what
wondering the
happened
same
here?
thing. I was like, why does it look like this? What the fuck?
It's just straight up, dude.
Yeah.
It's just straight up. Like,
Yeah. Welcome to USA.
welcome to USA. Things are built to go up. Okay, up and to the right. No, I
Exactly.
really think that we have like this crazy narrative of like, oh, semiconductors 100% tariff. It's all like a psyops. I'm totally happy to be wrong and not financial advice, but like for weeks they've been saying like, oh, semiconductor 100% tariffs. Oh, they can't sell this chip. They're supposed to have like I think it was like $8 billion loss or something, or lower bottom end, because they couldn't sell those specific chips. It's like if any of that news turns out to be better than expected, then the thing goes up. Like, oh, yeah, even if they lost money and they weren't able to do 8 billion, but they were able to get that loss down to 6 billion instead of 8 or something, the thing's gonna fucking go up because it's it's better than expected. So you have things pumping it into the earnings. I think we're pretty stale or stagnant until we get that earnings. It's in a couple hours, right? It's already
Yep.
yeah.
It's in 2 hours. No, 1 hour
Yeah, it's
and
already
15
1
minutes.
hour.
No?
yeah, right after.
Yeah.
So prepare, brace, Europores. Sorry, you have to stay up. You have another couple hours. I think as soon as the news drops, you'll get a move in crypto.
Not gonna
And
lie, I'm just gonna trade like fucking XPL, like 2 times in a day, 20% delta neutral is crazy work.
are you giving alpha? You're giving alpha 20% and 2 times a day.
I don't even know how they let it happen 2 times a day. Like, if I was a huge fan with, I don't know, 50 million, I would have muted the price as fuck. Like, whatever is about, like, let's say 5% threshold, I would have eaten everything, like, not even questionable. Because I know once the price settled by the release of the token, it's gonna go back to 0% spread. So I don't really give a fuck, and I can just tell myself to size up this basis trade, right?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's really impressing. It's the first time it's not impressing. Like leftover from yesterday, sure. 2 time? No, that's crazy, bro. There is no way.
But what is it's Binance and Hyperliquid is the major one?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I did a spread on Ashed and Binance. Binance, I was buying. Ashed, I was shorting.
Yeah, yeah. And 20% you hit it for 20% twice a day. That's crazy.
2 time. And right now, you could still go because Binance is like 54 cents. And let's assume Hyperliquid is wrong. It's at 68 cents. So that means you could still do like 18%. Yeah, pretty much 80% by settlement.
That's fucking
What
crazy.
I mean settlement is when the real price is released and Binance and Hyperliquid gonna match each price, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, probably gonna jump in again, like not gonna lie.
And then how are you feeling for the whole overall market? You're thinking 115 Bitcoin, tick back up a little bit, but do you think the super cycle's here, Maru? Are we stuck in a super cycle, or are we getting this 4-year cycle with 80-90% drawdowns, or did we already see that? I think we saw it in ETH, right?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that's the thing. But is get back to strong thanks to Tom Lee bidding billion. Bitcoin gonna be a bit boring from my point of view, but Sailor give us the top. That's what is crazy. It's like Sailor literally say we're changing the rule. We stop selling our stock a bit to buy Bitcoin for now until it get back to a certain NAV, right? So Sailor literally say publicly Bitcoin is a bit toppy for now, and on the other side, we have Tom Lee who come publicly and say, "Yeah, I'm just gonna beat billion of Ethereum, fuck you, higher." So pretty much a bit of change of regime, I would say, versus what we used to have.
Yeah. Cozy, you holding to your predictions?
Yep. Still the same.
You want
Wait.
you
So
want to remind them?
wait. Hold on. Which ones? My one from last week on
Everything
the stream.
starts with a 5K.
Yeah, everything starts with a 5. We're Hyperliquid's already started with the 5 and 5K on Sunday because it rhymes.
5K on
500
Sunday.
Solana,
Not Sunday.
5,000
5K Sunday.
Ethereum.
It's written in the code.
5K ETH. 5K ETH. We got an ETH maxi on board.
I mean, I think we go higher than that. Like 5K is in my top. I just like I think 5K very soon. Like the writing's kind of on my wall. I won't say it's on the wall for everyone, but I talked about it earlier. When you have
round number theory,
it's not just round number theory. It's more like looking at looking at looking at how rock hard all of the larger players outside of our ecosystem are for ETH, and how much money they're shoving into ETH. Getting approval to shove.
One guy is shoving billions of dollars in crypto. Twitter is telling him that it's going to zero.
Yeah, and these motherfuckers want to short it. Like, okay, dude, I'll see you.
Have you thought about buying it? Have you thought about not losing money? I don't know. Yeah. Do you still want to be poor? Jesus. Maru, you want to show what you're building, and we'll wrap it up here. I know we had a late start and earnings in an hour or so. We've been live for 30.
Yeah, no, not particularly shitting because we're still building, but we try to change a bit.
Yeah, talk about extended.
Yeah, we try to change a bit how perpetual work. Like at the moment, most of the perpetuals, they just want to be a perpetual and then they try to figure it out from there. For us, the vision is pretty much how we can make each transaction using a different underlying, because most of the networks, they say, I'm Ethereum, you're going to use Ethereum to settle this transaction, right? And we don't really like that particularly. So we try to have a dynamic margin system, which will allow us to trade perpetual, prediction market, option, stable coin, but even also just settle the transaction as you want to do it with Bitcoin, use your Bitcoin. You want to do it with USDC, do it with USDC. We just try to redefine a bit the ground because perpetual is pretty much well defined, and most of perpetual stuff I'm okay with it, to be honest, through most of my day, but still the settlement raise a lot of questions. I'm not really a fan of stablecoin. I think they are very extractive, and people don't realize how they getting extracted by stablecoin. So yeah, just trying to come with a new thing and give people more opportunity to do what they want and how they want it, right? That's the idea.
Love it.
But how do you find building in the space? I mean, in the space in general, the space is big, but there's a lot of not necessarily scams, but there's a lot of people that raise a lot of money and never put out a product. That how do you navigate these waters a little bit, like trying to become a legit project when every other pumped up fun is a rug?
I mean, I have a different answer for me and extended. For me, I would say just come back every single day and try your best, to be honest. Like, you're gonna fail anyway. That's the thing. Like, when it's come to building, you're not gonna find the magic recipe the next day. It's gonna take a lot of die and retry, like a fucking video game. For extended, we just take time, pretty much. Like, we have a part which is most of the core team. They are from Revolut initially, so they know crypto, but not by heart, not like a native. But we have a part of the team which is very crypto. So most of the time, it's a balance between what they know as a business and what we know as crypto native people. So that's why we just do it as we take time. It's going to take time. It's fine. We don't need to make people FOMO and shit. Like, even most of the time, we have a vault, basically a market making vault, and we let the cap be lower. We don't let it open. We want to preserve our user. We want to scale the business along. So yeah, mainly the mentality is we take our time because we want to make sure we're going to take the right decision and not just for something for the sake of it, right? And which I align with, by the way. Like, it takes time to do good shit, to be honest.
Oh, I agree. And Cozy was saying earlier that the hype meta is just this week's flavor, this cycle's flavor, People move to the new shiny new toy. People migrate money, and especially in crypto because it's instant. You can just move money globally instantly and it's not instant gratification, but just an instant movement of money. Where
it's just instant settlement and being able and like the friction from TradFi.
There you go.
The fact
there you go. No friction. Frictionless.
That you have time periods in which you cannot technically process funds. So you're stuck. I talked about it earlier, just like even with how seamless like my offboarding is, it's still, if I don't do it in the morning, I'm not going to get it till the next day, right? I have to wait a full day. If I do it on a weekend, I have to wait maybe 3 days. And that's, I think, the killer feature having.
Dude, I'm raising $1 billion for my new perp decks. We're closed regular banking hours and we're closed the weekend.
Yeah, so we were talking about that. How funny it would be. Like, imagine a new protocol that's like, no, sorry guys, we're only operational Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and we're closed Saturdays and Sundays. Like,
yep, that's it. And if your withdrawals just don't process when we're closed.
Yeah, it'd be an insane design. Like, nobody would accept that if we started in the industry we're in now and we were building to get to the, like performance metric, right? Speed of TradFi. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're closed for 2 days and I can't trade I can't trade in the evening. Like, I got to fucking like sit on my hands. Like, what the fuck?
So good. So good. No, and you also have this, this thing with TradFi where, we talked about it earlier. They're not
GC on.
Yeah, exactly. He only runs it locally when he's awake. You have this thing with TradFi where they're not being very acceptive of okay, New York Stock Exchange is trying to go like 24-hour trading. But they haven't really done it yet. There's a company that partnered with Robinhood. It's called Blue something. Forget the name of it. That offered 24-hour trading, but only X amount of volume and X amount of percent move from closing price. So they don't get screwed the next day. It's like a little bit. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't think the US is going to be as accepting of a 24-hour trading market. Like these fucking New Yorkers, they like their time off, dude. That's like the whole point. They don't want to be here 24 hours a day. If they did, they'd be in the crypto market,
Yeah, that's fair, to be honest. I mean, there is a use case of it, like I can rebalance when other people might not be awake. I think that's a good setting point. Like I don't need to wake tomorrow open to offload my stack, and I think that's very attractive to few big company who rules the world. But for most of the rest, yeah, they pretty much I like my time off.
No, it's good for hedgers. For true hedgers, it's great because you can offload any time of the day. But for the regular banking system, it's going to take them a long time to accept 24-hour trading. They might offer like crypto 24-hour trading, or futures. Sure, even futures have a fucking break, dude. Futures they close for the weekend and they have an hour break in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And middle of the day for us, but and end of the day for the birders. They have an hour break and then they're closed for the weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see how receptive they are of 24-hour markets.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else, Maru? You want to shill? You want to? Fran says 50K in May. No, it was 80K in May. Say it with me because it rhymes. That's what the Bitwise finance guy said on the news. 80K in May. Say it with me because it rhymes. That's the meme. And somebody said, Maru, your mic is fucked. And somebody said, yeah, that's French internet for you. Yeah, that's great. That's amazing.
But I literally got 2 gigabytes of internet. Like, it's not the internet, trust me. But nothing particular to say. Yeah, I don't know, just have fun on Twitter. If you need to go log in and don't spend time on Twitter. Probably gonna lower my time of Twitter because I got thanks to somebody, I got a good opportunity to open my own incubator. So the two of you probably know what it is. And it's been a dream of mine pretty much since I've started doing prompts. So very happy by this opportunity. So probably gonna lock in pretty hard, like I've spent the last few years learning and what I couldn't do in school. And now it's time to prove that this knowledge is not wasted. So probably time to lock in, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So everyone keep your eyes out for Marusha's new projects. He's got his incubator plus a new unified perp protocol. Can we get any alpha? When are you expecting to do maybe like closed beta, anything like that for extended?
We don't have official release, but I can confirm we are way more closer to be ready than not in terms of margin, unified margin. The issue is doing the system. They not that hard to develop, but the security you need to develop is insane. Literally, like you need to double check everything to avoid FTX because back in the day, FTX got a lot of problem with some scam week who fucked everybody across unified margin, which is also called cross margin system or cross asset margin system. So yeah, we close, but the issue is once again security. Like the system, it's one of the hardest system in crypto to develop. Even institutions, they got their own cross asset margin system at home, to say how much we got inside our book. So it's pretty much hard to redefine that and to verify that it's Olympian level of coding, to be honest, and math.
But we look forward to the launch. If you need a market maker or something, reach out. We can put you in with some guys.
Yeah, we still got to link up. We'll plan a call.
Yeah,
next
yeah,
week,
yeah, yeah.
Talk about margining systems and stuff a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you, Marusha. Appreciate your time today. We'll have to set you up in the regular queue and get you back on sometime in the near future. For everyone
Yep.
who is not following him already, I unfortunately messed up in the title. But if you go to the stream directly underneath, go ahead and click that account and follow him there. Follow Extended to keep updates on new protocol launch. And appreciate you joining us. We'll see you all back on Friday for Eden.
I appreciate
Later,
it,
Perps.
guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Later.